Hello, I'm Jane Ballantyne. I'm an Associate Professor in the Sustainable Engineering and Technology programmes. I am a Chartered Building Surveyor by profession, and prior to teaching I worked in private practice in London for probably over 20 years, probably more years than I'd like to think of. And I was a partner in quite a large building surveying practice, and I've also run my own practice as well. I moved into teaching probably about 8 or 9 years ago, which has been a good move. Interesting fact, I have pigs. I keep pigs. I moved out of London about 6 years ago, and I moved to the countryside, and I accidentally now keep pigs. So it's too long a story to go into, but I have pigs and chickens and ducks and dogs and cats. I think I've been proud of every sort of milestone in my career. I think probably the one I'm most proud of is when I became a chartered surveyor. So I'm a chartered building surveyor, and I qualified as a building surveyor quite a long time ago now, but I think that was my most proudest achievement, because it's probably the hardest thing that I've ever done, and there's very few female building surveyors as well, so that's something I'm very proud of. So as a building surveyor, building surveyors deal with existing buildings, so rather than building new shiny tower blocks, whatever, we deal with existing buildings. So those can be old ones from 1600 and something, or new ones, or ones in between. So projects I've been involved in are, I've dealt with quite a lot of heritage buildings, old ones, repairing them, which is really good, really interesting work, tricky but really good. And I also did a big survey of Centre Point at the end of Oxford Street in central London for the developers who have now developed that area into apartments and restaurants and whatever. And that when you're doing surveys for people buying buildings, it's really quite pressurised. You've got lawyers and accountants and the funders and whatever, and you have to do it all very quickly. You have to assess the building for structural integrity, any defects in it that would stop the developer buying the building. So that was a really good instruction. I don't think I can name one thing. I think lots of things were new. All my colleagues, Roehampton itself, our new building, which is going to be fantastic. It's all open plan and light and airy. And the labs that we've got, I can't pinpoint anything, all of it. So as a building surveyor, as I've said, we deal with existing buildings, and the most sustainable building is an existing building, because to demolish a building and rebuild it, there's an awful lot of carbon that's produced in doing that, and it's a waste of materials, and a waste of heritage in some circumstances too. So sustainability is not all about building new buildings that have renewable this and recycled that. Sometimes it's about the existing buildings and making them a little bit more wind and watertight. They're the sustainable buildings. My preferred way of teaching is, I'm not one for standing on a platform and talking at students. I don't think students learn. It's not pleasurable, and it's not all about me. I like working with the students and seeing where they go with the information that I'm giving them, and it's fun working with them and seeing them progress over the levels. I think the answers that some of my colleagues have given are probably all to do with academic and our new school and whatever. So I'm going to say here, the grounds and the buildings of Roehampton, they're fabulous. Central London is just over there, and yet I'm standing in an old listed building surrounded by trees, geese, moorhens. The Students' Union keep chickens and grow some vegetables, and it's just amazing. It's sort of, it's a bit wild, but sort of shabby chic. It's nice. I love it, and I hope all the students do as well. Another one where there's lots of answers. Lots of different buildings. The things like the Tate Modern, Battersea Power Station, all old buildings that have been reused. But I think my favourite one was a small former boat shed on Eel Pie Island, which, for those who don't know, is just an island in the Thames off Twickenham. And it's really quite a sort of quirky place where I think the Rolling Stones recorded music and the Beatles and whatever in the 60s, and you get over it from a footbridge from Twickenham, and it's quite cool. But a former boat shed that have been converted into a house, and it's not a big shiny fancy building in the city, but it's a really good, nice building.